Good evening, everybody. It's Monday night, and I'm here to do some more coding. A little bit more programming tonight. Hope everyone has had a good weekend so far and everything. Can I prove it's Monday night? Not really. I'd like to think that I wouldn't have to, though. The calendar works the same way everywhere, but then again, what is a calendar but a human-created construct in a vast universe of physics that don't conform to human-made constructs? Welcome, Shin. Welcome. They might say it's Tuesday. Yeah, it's true. There does exist another plane of existence where the day has already swapped over. But we talk not of those things, since they are a constant pain in the ass to programmers everywhere. Those things called time zones. Oof. Terrible. Oh, welcome everybody. Welcome on in. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. Okay, yeah, good. The music doesn't look like it's overpowering. Cool, based on the mixer there. So my friends, I have been thinking about like what I want to, some things I want to kind of kick off. I know we have a couple more things to do on the settings page. I also feel like I want to open up another avenue of advancement as well. I feel good that we have the Docker stuff working to the best extent I could. The one thing I did forget, and I want to kind of correct that now, is where was that at? Resources filtered. Yeah, in here. Why does this open? Why does this shell script open LibreOffice? Eclipse, why do you suck at this? Why do you suck at this? Just open with the text editor. Like, what the hell, man? The one thing I did forget is I didn't make these variable like I should have. So this should really be DB user, I believe. What's the other one? DB user. I think user. I don't have the test DB user yet, but that will be coming. So I'm not going to worry about this particular one. But I do want to at least get the DB user thing in there, because I didn't put that as one of the things that you should worry about. Also, the database name I did not do here, so I should probably do that. And I think I have that under product properties, right? Database name. Yeah, DB name. So let's do that. Well, DB name, and we'll worry about the test database later. So, because I'm still working on that one. Name. Oh, here we go. This should be here. Very good. Save that. All right, so that should all get replaced correctly now. when databases are getting spun up. So that is good there. And yeah, okay, so that's fine. So then the other thing is as well, the Greenmail project has a bunch of updates, a bunch of pull requests from Dependabot. So we'll go and get these straightened out right now. As we do. Through that. And merge it. Turn. Delete. Commons Lang. Approve. There you go. That branch. Time leaf as well. And then a unit which was giving us problems in the main thing. I'm just gonna approve it here too. Even though it was giving us problems, we'll just have to see what the solution to that is as we go. All right, good. So back to X we go here. So as I was saying, I want to be able to open up the development, like the range of things we can do a little bit more. Whoa, 7 branches. What the pull request? What the pull request? Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay, I guess we'll pull these down too. How did I not see? Were these just all? Oh, all opened an hour ago. I was like, how did I not see these before? Before I do that though, let's go and let's the team pull this down, and then I want to commit this as forgot to make database name database user variable replacement in the database init script for the doctor. I got to turn this thing on permanently too. I gotta remember the thing for that. Commit and push. There we go. That's pushed up there now. Now we can go in here and Galaxy Castle is updated. Change log here. No, not much. Well, 175 to 176 probably is okay. So we'll just let that go through. Approve that. Merge. Docker Maven plugin. Yeah, I know that got updated. I saw that. When I was looking at that earlier. This is fine. Thymeleaf is updated. Interesting. Allow Java SQL types and expressions. Optional int. Allow Java util UUID in expressions. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Allow direct use of the Java util iterator next. Forbid static access to org Spring Framework util star and expressions. Okay. Well, hopefully that won't bite us. I don't think I have any static access to any of the Spring Framework util stuff, but we'll find out if everything breaks. Review. Approve. Cool. Commons Lang. This should be relatively straightforward. I'd be very surprised if Apache Commons Lang had any kind of breaking change in it. Very, very surprised. Check style goes up a little bit. Classes of constructor, okay. Seems fine to me. Approve. Merge. Branch. And then Bootstrap goes up to 531. Okay, what craziness did Bootstrap do? Because they're the ones you gotta worry about. Increase color contrast, added our color mode switcher, JavaScript to example zip, improved disabled styling for nav links, providing disabled and disabled for use with anchors and buttons. Add support for home and end keys for navigating tabs like keyboard, okay. Basic styling to toggle buttons when no modifier class is present. Carousel colors in dark mode. Exploding label, disabled text color. Okay. XBG utilities now use CSS variables. Good. As they should. Sass, new Sass variable. Alert variables. Hey, Mytho! Welcome. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing tonight? CSS. Contrast in dark mode. That's good. Glad you're doing alright. Alright, it looks innocuous enough, but this is Bootstrap we're talking about, and it is a dot patch release. So, let's see what happens here. Alright. And that's all dependent about pull releases or pull requests. So we'll go and pull this down locally and we'll see if anything goes awry. Does the project build normally now? The tests are broken. And I have a feeling it has something to do with there's an update to JUnit, but I think it'll, so it's kind of, you should still be able to build it though. Let me see here. Let me test it right now. Where are we at? Okay. Maven verify. Yeah, you might have to skip the test, but otherwise, it looks like the build's okay. So you do Maven d test dot skip equals true, and then you can do verify, or well, probably you want to do install. All right. Oh wait, that ran the test. Wait a minute. I thought it was Maven. Oh, is it? Wait, is it? How is the? Yep. Door fire test. Oh, it's Maven test. Maven.test.skip. True. So we have to do Maven.test.skip equals true. Then install, and then that skips all the tests. Although the tests seem to be running okay locally now. There was a problem with the newest JUnit that just came down that seemed to be causing issues, but where it wasn't finding the test, like it just says it couldn't find the test, but now it seems like it's working locally, so I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, I got that there. I just made an update to the you reverted by one minor yeah, that's good. I just now made a change to the initialization script for Docker, because I wasn't I forgot to where the hell is it at now? That one there. Let me see. Open with text editor. Yeah, I forgot to make the database name and the database user use the variables. So it was always doing like hex tests and stuff like that. So that should now use the variables when you do it. And I got it to a point where it should be able to create the database container. And we'll run the initialization scripts under the xdb init.sh. We'll run and create all the databases. It'll create two databases. One of them is just an integration test database that I'm just kind of playing with right now. I don't have any integration tests yet, so you don't have to worry about that one. It's just called Hex Tester. But the main database, whatever you name it, is the one that's of interest. And then I put the you probably noticed already, but I put the steps out there. I think they'll work. I kind of ran through some of this myself. And I think these initial steps should work okay. Especially for generating like a key store and stuff like that. You still have to download like I didn't Dockerize the like the Tomcat container and all that stuff yet. I might do that at some point, but I have to see how that would be. I have to see how you would easily develop against that kind of thing. Like maybe there's a symlink that you would then build to locally, and it would build the war file and then symlink it to the running Tomcat so it would rerun it. I don't know. But this stuff should hopefully just work. You know, fingers crossed. The real meat of it here is this one, the Maven Clean Resources Docker Build Docker Start. That will build the Docker image and then start it. And then from that point on, you should be able to, if you're using Docker Desktop or whatever, you should be able to just stop and start from in here. You shouldn't have to run that again. Unless changes are made to it. Rubbing your data for a clean restart. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so hopefully this stuff will work. And let me know if I tried to get the step by step how to do it. But I did leave off some things like, you know, passwords and stuff in here that I assume that was kind of self-explanatory. Yeah. Anyway. I have so far. I see your message about the... No, I didn't see your message at all. Hang on. Let me go look here. Versions. Here's, what versions did you change of Node? So the whatchamadoozit, the Node npm version, npm using local node install. Oh yeah, so the way I have it set up, and I don't know if this is going to work for everybody. This is a good test that you've done. We switched to your global version, it worked fine. Yeah, so it's whatchamadoozit. So in the Maven POM file, I have a plugin. Yeah, this front end Maven plugin. And this guy goes out to grab a local npm and node. And here's the versions it's grabbing. And it uses that to then pull the resources down. This, I don't know how portable this is. It seemed to work fine on... It works fine on Windows, it works fine on my Linux here. I don't know if that will interfere. If you already had Node and npm installed globally, if that will interfere with that. It downloads it fine, but I can't seem to run it on Windows. Oh, but that's weird because it ran okay on Windows for me. were you getting an error of in particular from it? Or was it just not doing anything? Because ultimately it should create, in your project folder, it should create a node folder and a node modules folder with all our stuff in it. Something about not being a valid Win32 application. Oh, I wonder, did I have to install something else? Front end. Maybe there's another thing I had to install. Front end. Even plugin. Plugin does not support already installed Node or NPM versions. Okay. Will only be installed locally to your project. It will not be installed globally in the whole system. And it will not interfere with any installations already present. Okay. Front end. Maven plugin. Not a valid Win32 application. Oh, somebody else had that same issue a while ago, but it fixed itself. It was not great. Huh. Skipping test got it to build. How do I run it? To do with Tomcat. Okay, yeah. So, basically, so if you have, are you using an IDE, that can link to Tomcat, or are you going to run Tomcat, separately? I guess the question there, because basically, you can run Tomcat separately from the command line, which is just the server. And then if you want to, you can symlink to the target folder. Because the target folder, when you build successfully, when you do an install, under targets, you'll see this root snapshot war. And you can symlink that to your Tomcat development. under web apps here. So you would basically just pull it over here. You'll have to get rid of the root web app that's already there. That just comes installed with Tomcat. In fact, you can get rid of all these under Tomcat, I think. Yeah, host manager, all that stuff. They're not really necessary. I would just get rid of root though. You don't have to get rid of the other ones. And then just kind of all it really needs is the WAR file needs to be in here, and then Tomcat will automatically extract it and deploy it. So if you do a symlink there, then every time you rebuild, it'll basically undeploy and redeploy the WAR file. And then the same thing goes for the Greenmail GUI if you want to test the email stuff. So oh, you download the link in Arima, you have a server running. Okay. So yeah, wherever you downloaded the server to, there's a web apps folder there. Basically you just have to, I mean, you can drag and drop your WAR file. Oh, you're on Windows, right? Yeah, so just drag and drop the WAR file into the web apps folder and it should deploy it. You can't symlink on Windows, but that's essentially what you would do. My IDE has it in such a way that it will automatically do that in the background for me. That's why I use like most of the Java IDEs will have something like that where you can just, it'll link to Tomcat directly for you. It'll create its own little Tomcat folder and it will handle the deployment stuff, so you don't have to copy paste all this stuff all the time. But for just getting it up and running, you just drag and drop it. There we go. And hopefully, you can then, the logs will then be under, you'll up a directory, the logs will be under logs. And then you'll be able to look at those and see it deploying, hopefully. And if everything goes well, we'll be able to go to localhost 8443 HTTPS and see the homepage, hopefully. I know it's a lot of like little things. There's a lot of moving pieces, and there's I could do an embedded Apache Tomcat to try to remove one of those moving pieces, you know what I mean, and just make it an executable like jar file, and then you could just run the jar file and it would launch Tomcat and deploy itself and all that stuff. I've thought about maybe doing that just to make the getting development up and running really easy. But we'll see. We'll see. Just the WAR file. Yeah. Yeah, Docker for all this would be helpful. Yeah. Yeah, it's I have to see how that would work. Because basically you would have a volume and the WAR file would go on the volume, but then you have to, there has to be a way to, or maybe it would be a network connection. Like having a Tomcat container is easy enough, It's just, I'm trying to figure out how to do it in such a way that you don't have to constantly rebuild the container. You just have to, like whenever you build, it would seek out your war files automatically. You know what I mean? Like have like a, maybe it's like, maybe it mounts a network folder, and that network folder is your local folder. I'll have to see how that works. That's the only way I can see that being in such a way that it's not a complete pain in the butt, you know? Because then you can just, because then just like the database, you can just stop and start the container and you're good. You're golden, you know? All your logs and everything are there. You know where to find everything. And then when you kick off a build, it'll just automatically redeploy the war files. So, see? We'll see. I have to think about it. I have to see how that... I'm pretty sure there's a way to do it. I just have to look up how others have done it. You see it in Tomcat Manager, but it doesn't load yet. You can... best bet is to go under the logs folder and see what the logs are saying. Make sure also that the database is running. I know that sounds weird, but and also if you I would also you made that mistake earlier today. If you have something to connect to the database with, like a SQL query analyzer, make sure that the tables are there. Like the migrations should have run when you ran the Maven command, the Maven like install command or verify, whichever one. It should have ran the migrations, but just verify that they're there, because if there's no tables there, then it'll just fail. You just have empty databases. Like, oh, you know what? Let's see. Aqua. Yes, I don't even have that open right now. This right? Oh, this is not running. Yeah, I just made the same mistake. My database isn't running right now. There we go. You should have like an authorities table, identities table, things like that. They don't have to have any records in them. They just have to be there. Let's see what we got. Anyway. So, let's see here. What do I want? Where am I at? Okay, I want to... Let me also make sure that I am running properly here. Yes, DB name is what you put in the secret keys.properties file. So it's in prod properties here, where it will read from a environment variable. But basically take all these, put them into secret keys.properties and give them proper values. Yeah. I think that's the one part that might be confusing, because, well, that's what I just realized that, like, here I meant to emphasize that this is some of the properties values, but not everything. Yeah, it can be anything you want. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I meant to emphasize that this is some of the properties files, not all of them, and maybe I should do that. Or, you know what I could do is I could actually let me put all of the... Oh no. I don't want to have to update this every time I put a new property in. This is another thing. A full rebuild. Yes. You'll have to do basically you'll have to run this command. The Maven clean resources docker build docker start. And then you'll have to do the Maven either verify or Maven install, whichever one. You'll probably want to do Maven install because you'll want a war file out of it. This will, by the way, create a brand new Docker container. So, oh, you know what? The initialization scripts aren't going to run unless you delete the volume that was there. So you'll have to delete your container. And you have to delete the PG data volume, because otherwise Docker won't run the initialization script, which creates the database. If there sees there's one there already. So yeah, you'll have to stop those containers and delete them. You can leave the images. I think it'll probably create a brand new image. But the container and the volume, we'll have to go. And I realize it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I'd like to figure out a way to make this not be such a pain. You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten a lot of things to be sort of automated, but we're not quite there yet. And I'd like to, if I could figure out a way to make this not be so terrible. I'd like to try to figure that out. Like I know there's Docker secrets too. You could I could probably use. Like some of this stuff could be copied over as a file. Although I don't know if that's all that necessary, if that actually solves anything there. But the real problem is that like some of the stuff it's just necessary. Like the JBC URL is necessary. I don't necessarily have to make it as customizable as it is. I just did because why not? We're already editing the file. But yeah, and some of the other things, like the email stuff doesn't have to be in here. I'd like to maybe make that, I'm debating whether I should just make that a, like system properties, like make a system properties table and just put them all in there and have them in the data, and have that just in the database and just be configurable from there, and just try to keep this file as small as I can and just be, you know, the things that are necessary. I guess technically, and this is another thing too, if I were to switch over to, if I did embedded Tomcat, I'd be able to have something theoretically show up, like have a web page show up when you first launch, and have it ask you like, where's the database, what's the URL for the database, and all that stuff, and then do like a staged initialization, potentially. I don't think I could do that without it being embedded, because all that initialization happens with Spring, and I don't know if I can, like, I don't know if under normal conditions I can stop Spring for a moment and just kind of show a page and then kick off the Spring initialization. Because that's what I would need to do. I'll have to look around. Maybe somebody has figured that one out. That would be swell. I would like to make it where I could just potentially just do away with this file and just have everything in. I guess putting everything in a database probably isn't ideal. Probably still have, or at least have a file that I generate. That's probably more like it. Like, there'd still be a file here, but it'd be one that's generated by the system on startup, so you don't have to mess with it unless you have additional things to add to it. Tomcat cannot obtain resource for the key store file. Oh. If it's a slash, it might be a slash issue, yes. Because you change this here to point to the project directory, right? Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely need. Let me see. What was my? Because I have the configuration over on here on my Windows machine. Where is that at? You copied it from Explorer, yeah. Yeah, the /, it should probably take that. I'll tell you in a second here. Server. Where the heck is it? Oh, it's just that's the wrong one. Yeah. Actually, I have a single / for everything, and it seemed to be okay. I have like a C:/ and then the path to the key store. Are you pointing at the Git repository? I guess you're pointing. You said you got it out of Explorer, so it should probably be able to see it. Yes. I think you just do Catalina.bat space stop, and then Catalina.bat space start, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it has a restart command, but it should have start and stop anyway. That should be under the bin folder here. Yeah, there's Catalina.bat and Catalina.sh there. Let me see. Less Catalina.bat. Ooh. Yeah, it just has start, stop, and debug, basically. And if you really want to, you can also run that as a Windows daemon and start and stop it that way too. Restarting a GUI was grayed out. Just restart. Yeah, it's Stop and start. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't used the Tomcat Manager in a long time. I think there's probably a lot in under the manager that you can do there. I just haven't used it in a while. In fact, I actually usually get rid of it because it's not. It's like it's everything you can do from the command line, and then it also poses a security issue because you can put a password on it, but it's you have to manipulate a bunch of stuff to do it. Okay. Let me see. Where am I at here? Clean deploy. Clean our work directory and start. See if this is working. Still. Okay, good. Still working for me. Well, that is good. Make sure Greenmail GUI is working too after all those updates. Alright, that is too. Very good. Nice. Oh, you can kill it. Yeah, I end up just killing it because it does take forever and a day to stop, and you're not hurting anything by just killing the process. I don't know why Tomcat can start up in like 11 seconds and then it'll take like 4 minutes to stop. I don't know why. I don't know why it takes so long. It's like it struggles to disconnect from things, and so I just end up killing it. End up killing the process. Like I said, it doesn't hurt anything. Okay, let's see. So what I was thinking of doing today. So like I said, I wanted to kind of open up additional vectors of development here. Which means basically starting to learn how to do the mobile app. But in order to do that, I want to get OAuth 2 set up on here. And I've been looking at the mobile stuff. I do have Android Studio, and I was planning on using Flutter, and I guess we're going to end up using, because I'm using Flutter, I guess we're going to end up using Dart. So I gotta learn all of that. Android Studio, Flutter, Dart, all of that I've got to learn. I wanted to make it as low an API level as I could. That would get like 99% of all the users. Unfortunately, I looked it up, and the Google Play Store, new apps must target Android 13, which is API level 33 or higher, starting August 31st. Whereas existing apps must target API level 31 or above to remain available to users on devices running Android OS higher than your app's target API level. So that's going to be a thing. The problem with this is that not very few people have Android API level 33. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. So what I'm thinking, because I wanted to do API level like 13, which is like 99% of all the Android stuff out there. So what I'm thinking is we may have to provide two artifacts. One APK that is, API level 33, so Google Store available, and one that is side loadable, so people could at least side load the other one. I don't know how feasible that is, because this is like, I am brand freaking new to all this stuff. So we'll see there. There's also, I think there's alternative stores. Android stores. List of Android app stores. Yeah, like F-Droid is one of them. I don't know if the Aptitude. I don't know if it's ready yet, but Tare was adding mobile support. Not sure how I feel about Rust though. I think one way or the other I'm gonna have to learn something. I was hoping I could do, because the thing with Flutter was that it was it does the iOS thing as well, and you can theoretically write it in Java, but then it's only going to deploy to Android. Like, you have to write Objective-C or Swift to do the Flutter and the other thing. Like, it's only going to, from what I understand, and maybe I'm understanding it wrong, if I want to get the cross-platform stuff out of Flutter, I have to do it in Dart. So that's a thing. Let's see. Sorry. what do we got here? .NET MAUI is another option. Supports all platforms. C#. Let's see. Windows size, web renderer. But is this doing? It's built on the web renderer, but is this gonna? Is this like a? Does this behave like a fat app, or does it behave like a web view? Platform level web view. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, like Electron. Right. There's basically no resources. Hmm. Mouse compiler. Wait, does this work with iOS as well? JavaScript, TypeScript. I mean, I could do it in JavaScript and TypeScript. I wouldn't mind that too much. And I don't necessarily mind Rust either. I'd have to learn it. Wait a minute. So I don't know if mobile is there yet. CMGs. Certificate. Nation. Next code signing. Do something. Let me see something. Creates macros. Common code. Yes, API for interaction with Rust backend. Use your desktop platforms. Interface. Get started. Oh, it still says coming soon for Android and iOS. What was the other one? Maui? Oh, of course. .NET Maui. Android 5.0 or higher, API 21. Okay. iOS 11 or higher. Using the latest release of Xcode. Huh. Xamarin, how does that on Android emulator, iOS simulator? Studio Code. Choose your target device. Okay. Okay, and then it's all C# from that point out. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because I don't know. F-Droid's one that's been popular. Software. There's some a different key. I'm a developer. Service. Keys. Okay. They might, because I could put like a lower Android one probably on F-Droid. That's a little bit more, that, you know, and then the higher Android requirement on the Play Store kind of thing. That's just way down the pike. That's just something I thought of. I don't know. I get so Flutter seemed like the more popular one, I guess, because it's, you know, Google. But I'm not. I don't. Having not done any mobile app development, I'm not sure what to do. With it, like I was looking at. I mean, there's a lot of people who use it enough that I can kind of muddle my way through some stuff, like the OAuth stuff. So I'm kind of leaning towards that, just because I can. Just because there's more information out there that I can kind of snarf and snag as I go. I've not 1,000% sold on it though, but I think I'll start out at least with it, and then we'll see how it goes. Like I'm not ruling out doing it other ways. Especially if it's less effort, or at least, or not less effort, but less cruft to kind of sort through, you know? Let's see here. What I want to do is, I've got this, so I want to start to look at the OAuth stuff. And I think we're going to do the Spring Security OAuth 2 authorization server. I'm going to grab that and get that going. I have a Spring Security bomb, right? So I should be able to just bring that in without a version, right? Or does it need a version? Probably needs a version number because it doesn't look like it matches up with anything else. So bring that down. And then we need to get some beans going. Authorization server security filter chain. Okay. Let's go do a Maven update. Oof. You know what? I want to put this up the top here. Oh, yeah, you've got the it's compiled up to class file 55. Am I compiling? So my target compiler is Java 17 on Maven here. So Tomcat is running on a JDK that's less than 17. Is 1755? I think it is. Java version number 5. Yeah, 55 is Java 11. So somehow, or I'm sorry, Jerry. This has been compiled by class file 55, but Jerry only is up to 52. Oh, you've got, so 52 is Java 8. So somehow, Tomcat's picking up a Java 8 on your machine. And it's likely your Java home environment variable. Because if I know Windows loves to screw with that. You'll have to change your Java home environment variable to point to, Java 17 at least. You have that somewhere? It points to JDK 19 in your Java home environment variable. Oh. Just the folder, not the bin. That's fine. That's fine. It's just the folder. Yeah. I'm gonna start up Bootstrap. Why is it looking at such an old? From your command line, if you type Java -- version, what does it print out? Maybe it's just seeing it on the maybe it's just using or trying to run Java on the path, and maybe you just need to fix up your path variable, environment variable. Okay, yeah, that's where it's going wrong. I would say go into your, I would say go into your path variable, environment variable, and just make sure the only one on there is the one pointing to your JDK 19. Because there's if I remember correctly, Windows has like 2 things it does. And it's super annoying with the environment variables. And I can find it here. System. Advanced system settings. There we go. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. So, environment variables, and then I think it puts here's my Java home. On the path, the first thing I put on is not the same as my, that's the same as my Java home? Yeah, it is. The first thing I put on the path was the JDK that I was using, and I did put bin at the end because it's the path variable. Windows puts something else here all the time, and it drives me insane. I see it here. It hasn't done it in a while. But usually when a Windows update comes down, it'll do something like, it'll have like a Java path variable or something. And it'll keep throwing that into the path variable and just messing everything up. Because it'll keep bringing down like Java 8. So it's a constant struggle to make sure you're always, the first thing on the path I would just put is the JDK that you have. And then hopefully that'll fix the problems there. Let's see, is it under this path here? No, Microsoft does throw, it throws like a Java path or something in there that always points to Windows and the Windows system folder or whatever, and it's really super annoying. It's one of the problems I have with my work laptop, because they don't give us, they took away our admin rights. I can't even go into it to change the environment variable. I have to have an IT guy connect to it just to change the environment variable for me. In the butt. Every time like an update comes down. Let's see here. We have, brought that down. Oh, I wanted to move that up to a variable here. Still getting the same version. Delete what was there, restart a terminal. Still getting the same versions. That's all right, Mytho. I don't mind. It's I really do want to make sure that I want to make this process as easy as possible, and so having someone trying it and being like, "Yeah, dude, this stuff doesn't work," is important. I want it to be as turnkey as I can make it. Yeah, that's weird that it's still saying you restart the terminal, you're still getting the same versions. That's really strange. That's really, really strange. But I would definitely say that's that is the actual problem, because your Java C is coming out of the correct folder because you're getting the correct oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. Nice. That should hopefully help. That's not to say there won't be another thing that Tomcat has a problem with, but we can at least get past the initial. This is always the problem, honestly. It's like there's so many moving pieces, and as much as I try to make everything work out of the box, it's, you know, the more pieces to the puzzle, the more likely you're gonna get a piece from a different puzzle mucking up the works, you know. This is why I don't like Java. It's fair. It's very fair. Very fair assessment. I mean, it's whenever we hire a Java developer, we give them a week to set up before we give them any real tasks. that they can get their environment all set up. Right? Because it usually takes that long just to like you get the code down, get it compiling, get all the prerequisites installed, get them working. You know, it's just, it sucks. And I wish there was a better way of doing that. You know? I'd like to think that there are some groups at my work that use virtual machines, and they just give all their developers a VM, and they just work on a VM already pre-configured, and that has its advantages and disadvantages. Docker can get you some of the way there, but not necessarily all the way there. You're also I also don't want to be prescriptive about your IDE and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like doing like a VM or something like that, I'm kind of like assuming you're going to use, you know, like IntelliJ, or you're going to use this other thing. And I'd rather people use whatever they're comfortable with. If they're comfortable doing it in Vim or NeoVim or whatever, awesome. You know, Notepad++, knock yourself out, you know? So I'm trying to be agnostic from that perspective, but at the same time, the more agnostic I am on that side, the more difficult it is for those people to actually get set up, because you have to bring down all the things individually, you know? Whereas if you have an IDE, a lot of the IDEs just kind of figure things out for you straight away. So it's rough, you know, one way here and one way there, you know. The Log Commons daemon still shows org Apache Kali startup bootstrap failed. Commons daemon still shows bootstrap failed. Weird. Delete the web apps, rebuild it, and see what happens. What other... Do you have other things under web apps there? I think it comes packaged with a few things like manager, host manager, docs examples, root. Like if you get rid of, I think the manager and the host manager are what you were seeing when you were logging in. They're like the manager things. So those are okay to stay, but like docs and examples and root can go. Yeah, so you can get rid of docs and you can get rid of root, because root is going to be replaced with the application. The application the war file will expand itself out into root. And then host manager and manager should be fine. They shouldn't give you any problems. Also, I would... the directory above, in the Apache Tomcat main directory, there's a temp and a work folder. I would delete both. Well, shut down the server first, and then I would delete both the temp and the work folder, and it'll regenerate those. And then that way you've got like a completely clean start. It's not trying to like pull weird things in that it had in the temp folder or in the work folder. Those things get generated when Tomcat's doing its stuff. So it'll like compile like JSPs and stuff into there and use it as a scratch area and all that stuff. And so sometimes it's helpful to just clear those out so it starts fresh. Okay, so... Oh, it worked! Nice! It feels good, though, when it actually works, right? It's like pulling teeth, but when it works, it feels good. So are you able to actually go to, and see the homepage? I can't ever delete the project or never get this running again. My experience has been, once you get it working, it usually will continue working. So you'll probably be okay. Oh, that's good. Awesome. That's great to hear. I know that was a painful experience, and I apologize profusely for the pain, and I'm open to any suggestions to try to like reduce that as much as we can, because I don't want anyone else to have to go through that nonsense. That's why I keep throwing stuff in the Maven build, like Docker builds and all that stuff, because I want the Maven build to be like the thing. Just run this command, boom, it generates everything for you. It brings down all Node.js, and it brings down, all the, Bootstrap and all those things, Probably just figure out how to Dockerize it all. Yeah. I think that's going to have to be the thing. Yeah, I agree. Because it does kind of suck trying to do that. Trying to do that yourself. Unless you already know what you're doing. If you've already done it before, then it becomes not so bad. But it's like, if you're just trying to pick something up real fast and run with it, it's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt. Where are the logs for the app while it's running? So they're under the... there's a logs folder under Apache Tomcat. They should be there, hopefully. And it should be... what is the name of the log? I think it's just hex... I'll tell you in a minute here. Logback. XML. The log name should be hex with a... Let's see. Yeah, it should be hex log. And then there should be like a greenmail GUI.log. Nothing for the project. Catalina base logs hex log. So it should be here. So whatever Catalina.base is resolving to is where it's putting the logs. So Catalina base is based on the Catalina base environment variable. So if you have an environment variable called, in all caps, Catalina _ base, it should be put in the logs under a folder called logs, and then in there. If you don't have one, I have no idea where it's shoving them. It might be just throwing them in to like the root of your C drive. There might be a logs folder under the root of your C drive with the log in it now. Or whatever drive you're running off of. Probably add that to the config file. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to... Does Catalina base... Is this... Yeah. Oh, you know what? Check the project root. You may have a folder in there that's called Catalina.base is not set. And that'll be brand new, and it'll be where the logs are. Because I was having that problem in the Windows area. I wonder if do I have Eclipse still open over here? Let me see. Show you what I mean in a second here. Oh yeah, here it is. So I'll do this. So right over by my head up here, there's a folder called Catalina.base _ is undefined. That gets created when that variable is not defined. And this should have the logs under it. And that should be in the root of the hex project. So it might be there. Let's see what we got. Oof. Excuse me. Worst comes to worst, you can just, I guess, search for hex.log. I don't think you'll have too many files named that. And see where it finds it. But you're right. I think what I'll do is I'll move that into the resources filtered folder, and then add that to the configuration, or add that to the properties file, so we know where the logs go all the time. Or you can at least change where the logs go. Alright, so this is... Let's stop that. We got the Spring Security OAuth version. So now I gotta figure out how to get this. So we got hex security, right? And the API filter chain is what's going to be our OAuth thing. So how does that work here? How do they have this? They have OAuth 2 authorization server configuration, apply default security. OIDC customizer with defaults. Redirect to the login page when not authenticated from the authorization endpoint. Exception handling, exceptions, default authentication entry point for login URL, authentication entry points. Accept access tokens. So login URL authentication entry point. That just so if you try to go to /API, it will take you /login, which does the normal. Form login. Your register client repository with UID, login auth to code, IDC client, and in memory. Okay. Interesting. Signing access tokens, key pair, decoding, your Spring authorization server settings. Okay. The client secret. Yeah, I hate that they don't explain it. Register client with ID. What is that doing? Register client repository for managing clients. Benefit component where new clients can be registered and existing clients can be queried is used by other components when following a specific protocol flow. Is client authentication, authorization, grant processing, token introspection, dynamic client registration, and others. Provided implementations are in memory, JDBC. And JDBC, okay. In memory is recommended only if user development testing. If JDBC implementation persists, register client instances by using JDBC operations. Okay. Which is what I'd want. But, registrations. Well, okay, so that's just so they're actually registering that client so they can look at it, test it, right? Mercury. Just adding that so that they have a client there to test it, right? Like, what does that do? Managing client. Register client repository being. Or you can configure it through an OAuth2 authorization server configure. Okay. Successful completion of authorization grant flow. An OAuth2 authorization is created. And an access token. Associates an access token, an optional refresh token, an additional state specific to. Okay. Vary depending on the authorization grant type. OAuth2 client credentials grant. Only be used by confidential client. Okay. So authorization code grants. Refresh token. So yeah, that's why client credentials are, yeah. I was gonna say they're usually like server only. Normal flow, the refresh token. So authorized scopes, attributes, principal, authorization service is an optional component. Okay. Just OAuth2 authorization instances by using JDBC operations. Authorization consent. Authorization code. Consent service. Consent service. So do I... I'm feeling like I override the consent service. Like I did with the other thing, with the regular flow. Token customizer. Session registry. Session registry instance is used to track authenticated sessions. Session registry is used by default implementation of session authentication strategy. Registry new. Okay. The session registry bean is registered in instance session registry info. Session event publisher bean should also be registered as it's responsible for notifying it of session lifecycle events. Okay. When a logout is requested by an end user, an OpenID Connect 1.0 logout endpoint uses the session registry to look up the session information associated to authenticate end user to perform the logout. Spring Security's concurrent session control features being used as recommended to register a session registry bean to ensure it's shared between Spring Security's concurrent session control and Spring authorization servers logout feature. Okay. Following example shows how to do that. Event publisher. Okay. Yeah, because they're doing the same thing with user details. They're putting one in memory so they have it. But really what I want is not really the repository, right? How did I do down here? I did Authentication Manager. All right. An authentication provider and a user details service. An authentication manager with a remember me provider, an authentication provider. Okay. So then for the API filter chain, we would do, I guess cores and everything doesn't even come into play here. So I guess I just kind of do what they have here. You go off to authorization server configuration. Just use the defaults. I mean, the defaults seem pretty secure as it is. Login URL authentication entry point is /login. But not authentic. Redirect to the login page. Which makes sense for the web, but when you're trying to do it in a mobile, I guess it, I don't know if I would do a redirect. I guess for right now I can do the media type request matcher. HTML. Usually post requests just return token on page. Yeah. I don't know why. The only reason I can see them doing this exception handling here is if you point at your browser at /API, then it would redirect your browser back to /login. But is that even worth that effort? Like, I would rather assume that it's a program trying to get to the /API and give an actual authentication error back to it. I guess we'll have to see how this shakes out. I mean, I'll put it in there for now. And then we'll see once I get the... What I want to do is get a bare bones mobile app to where you can log in. And then we can see what happens if you aren't... registered. Like, see how it handles that. So, security. All right. Auth2 authorization server configuration. If I want to do this, I got to do security matcher / API, right? How many pages work? Register should work. You should be able to register users. I would hope. I was doing it earlier. Shows the error banners. I need to find the logs. Yeah, also, I don't know if you checked or not. Are there tables in the database? Not just an empty database, right? Where was that log? Environment variable definition. It's Catalina underscore base. It's in the logback.xml file. Or it's likely, if that's not set, that it's likely that it's under the main hex project folder. You'll see like a Catalina .base is undefined or whatever. Oh no, the logback XML is under source main resources. Yeah, there you go. And the reason it's under there is that that gets deployed into the WAR file. So anything that ends up in the WAR file itself has to be under the resources folders, either resources or resources underscore filtered. Those things end up into the WAR. I guess technically the migrations and stuff doesn't have to end up in there, but I guess I put it there for ease of running it. So I guess they probably are ending up inside the WAR. I don't think it's a huge deal. Even though they don't need to be there. Actually, that might be beneficial even. Because you could extract them from the WAR if you needed them. Oh, wait a minute here. Why do you say my default security HTTP? Um, what are you doing here? Auth to authorization server configuration. What was it? Authorization server configuration. My default security. What does that actually do? Hit endpoints matcher. Endpoints matcher. Provides any request authenticated. Endpoints matcher. What is this? Endpoints matcher is constructed in a niche. Security. Server settings get JWK set endpoint. Default is /auth2 JWKS. Each configurer, bus matchers, configurer, and I don't like this at all. I don't like that at all. What do you do here? They do an HTTP get configurer on there. I don't like. Oh, security matcher. Should not use CSRF protection. Authorizations server configure. Auth2 authorization server configure. Only be invoked when matching a provide request matcher. Pretty matcher. Rise HTTP request. I don't want to just do these myself. So get rid of that. With security matcher. Authorize HTTP requests. CSRF. So authenticated. Authorizing any request authenticated. Then why Wouldn't I just do so? Configure authorization server configure is this guy. So wouldn't I just do no? Because there's nothing. It needs a new. .oidc. Okay, Mytho. Well, thank you for trying. I appreciate it. I appreciate it greatly. And I'll see what I can do to try to make things a little bit smoother as we go along. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. And have a good night. IDC. Those are with the faults. Okay. We've got that part. I guess I'll throw the exception handling thing in there too. Just for now until I've figured out what this is really supposed to be. Because that doesn't look like what it should be. At least logically anyway. And handling. Exceptions. Fault authentication entry point 4. Authentication entry point 4. Login and media type request matcher. Type request matcher. Media type request matcher. Media type that XHTML. Okay, that's the exception handling. And then off to a resource server. Where did that go? That's not on. 1, 2 there, so that's before exception handling. So it's after exception handling. Off to a resource server. UWT with fonts. Okay. So that's that part. But then bring security filter chain for authentication. That's fine. User detail service. Retrieving users to authenticate, blah, blah, blah. Registered client repository for managing clients. So, registered client repository is just a bean. Client repository. And what is that? Returns a bean, whatever bean I want. BC registered client repository. Which I'm more than likely going to extend and create my own here. Client row mapper. Yeah, because it's got its own table stuff here. Let's do register client. Column names. I mean, I'm probably going to want all the column names, but I'm also probably going to want additional ones, maybe. Auth to registered client. Yeah, see, I don't even like the table name. Table names suck too. Okay. So ID. Blah blah blah. All right. Let's make this migration then. And this will be off to API logins. Alright, so we're going to say 31 and what would that be? 23. 2337. And I want to do, I'm not doing this. I'm going to do create table. Create no verification. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So create table go off to client registry. The ID as nope, that's ID serial primary key. Okay. ID serial primary key. Do that, right? Yeah, ID serial primary key. What else do? Let's grab this stuff here. Actually, what am I doing? I can just down here like this, or down here. Try that again. There we go. Client ID. And tell me what these actually are. Hello, controller. Welcome. How are you tonight? Tell me what these. Register client row mapper. What? Tell me. Yes, I am using SQL databases. I'm using PostgreSQL right now. Boom, 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 boom. Where's the type of the nonsense here? Parameters mapper. That ain't it. We have this thing here. Oh, here we go. Schema depends on table definition described in OAuth2 server authorization client schema. Oh, gee. Okay, so new dependencies. Bring framework. Authorization server. Bring security auth to server authorization client. Here's the schema here. Oh, ID is a varchar 100? What? Okay. And not know. All right. Well, I guess I can just copy these. And them in here. Not no. Not no primary key. Let's get rid of that. Excuse me. Right times it. Right ID issued at timestamp default. I guess default would be now. Secret 200 expires at default. No. Application methods, grant types, redirect URIs, post logout, redirect URIs. Nope. Client token, client settings, token settings. I mean, I guess these column names are fine. I don't. You know what? Let's get rid of. We're gonna customize it. Let's customize it. Because I don't think I've been using any. Excuse me. I don't think I've been using any underscores, have I? No. Let's try to keep some consistency here. Authentication methods. Grant types. Logout. Redirect. URIs. Oops, client settings. Token settings. Rollback is drop cable if exists. Auth to client registry. Am I these details? Yeah, I haven't been doing that either. Auth to client registry. Copy that and put that down here. other rollback I don't need. Alright. Very good. Very good. Thank you for that follow as well, controller. I appreciate it. Why aren't my I don't hear my alerts going off. It's really annoying. Really, really annoying. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, so that's our API login stuff. That saves. Okay. Advanced settings, advanced settings. Okay, so we got at least some of that in there. I'm probably going to just extend the client repository with my own. Or I don't even know what I extend it. I don't think I would extend it. I think I just implements registered client repository. So I think I would just implement the one thing there. Do the rest myself. Nothing else I need from the JDBC registered client repository that I can tell. Anyway, so let's go under plain Java and security. Where's this one? I think it's going to be largely a DAO here, so let's say new class O off to it's I'm gonna put both O NEA O off to client repository DAO, and this does do registered client repository. Meant that. That should be everything. I would think. Okay. We have that. So this is a repository. Private static final logger. Factory logger off repository down. go. All right, I have that. So then under here. A private repository DAO, no auth to my repo DAO. There we go. Wait, what's going on here? What the hell is happening here? Oh, it's missing. How'd that happen? I don't know how that happened. Anyway, basically returning that. I'll have to do all the implementation for that, which shouldn't be too terrible. Yeah, okay. It shouldn't be too bad. Let's run our migrations here. I'm gonna do project clean. Not quite done with the Loft 2 stuff yet. But hopefully everything will still work. Go run, do migrate. Cool, so I should have a new table. There it is. Okay, so I have that. So that's in there. Do a project clean again. And let me see if this will still deploy correctly. Or not. We'll see. Come over here. Be unhappy. Authorization server settings available. Oh, right, because it wants the it wants that other piece over here. Yeah, it wants these beans. Guess I can, well, let's do it. GWK source. I copy that, right? Any context? Public key, security. Interfaces. Okay, and then save that. And then it wants the RSA key thing here. All right, so that brings that in, and then need the decoders and this. Organization server settings. Builder build. Alright, we're just doing the default settings. So we'll have to see what those involve as we go here. Alright, so I got that. So project clean. And really, I should do this on a branch, which I think I'm going to do. So I'm in the process of making it work. Clean and start. The client repository. Oh, found two. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I can, so I can actually get rid of that. is just looking for that. All right. I think he's just basically just looking for that as a bean. Looking happier now. Maybe. So let's see what we got over here. Yep, that's working. For now, it looks like. Okay, we're back in business there. I go to /API. Now, how about this? Not found. Okay. That's actually okay for right now. Yeah, alright. Well, I've done it in a way that doesn't seem like it's broken anything yet. But I'm still gonna, I think, put this on branch for right now. So go do this. Go where are we at? Team dash changes. Alright, and then team and what the hell is it? Switch to new branch. Feature. Go off to API endpoint. Very good, and dashes this guy. Bring all those back, and then delete. Cool. Project clean. No problems. All right, good. Let's go and commit this for the moment onto our branch. Initial stab at getting off to API endpoint established. And push. There we go. Very good. So that branch will just be out there in GitHub for right now on a whole separate thing, so I don't mess anybody up as we're going. There you go. Branches. Feature branch there. Cool. Cool. Alright, that's in there and moving along. Actually, our tests are working again, which is good. How about this branch? That just compile. I think it's automatically compiling branches. Question mark. Maybe. Can't tell. Can't tell because it's putting me in this other view there. But anyway, I have to look under the Circle TI to see if it did it or not. So cool. Got some progress on the OAuth 2 stuff, the OAuth 2 front. And I just gotta kind of wrap my head around how all that is supposed to work and all those things, and try to get that to a point where I can maybe work on a client and then test the client through it. Maybe I can even, I'm wondering if I can, there's probably a way to do it through JUnit. I'd like to try to test that through JUnit if I can, and get JUnit test set up where I can make sure the flow is going through correctly and that things are ending up in the repository like they're supposed to, and all that stuff, registrations and all that go through properly. So we'll see. I'll have to look up how that works, so we can kind of have a way of testing it without having to go through all the setup of a mobile thing right away. I would like to get the mobile thing set up and get the initial login going there too, but that's going to be a bigger project as we're going along. But anyway, friends, I think that'll do it for me for tonight. Let's shut that down and close out of here. I'll be back with some more coding stuff on Friday night. So Friday night we'll hopefully try to get more progress with the OAuth stuff and make sure and like test it and see that hopefully it's working the way I want it to work. And then Saturday afternoon, even more coding. That will be probably where I'm going to maybe dig into like creating the initial mobile app framework stuff. Maybe we'll see how that is, or maybe I'll work on the Dockerizing the Tomcat server stuff, maybe to make that a little bit easier as we're going along. So we'll see one or the other. We'll see how that goes. See if I can figure out one or both or all those. So got a couple of those going. As far as the rest of the week, though, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, we'll be back with some more Dragon Quest XI, playing some of that. And then I've already spoken about Friday and Saturday. So that is the schedule as I know it right now, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. I hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.
Same old story. Boy finds girl, boy loses girl, girl finds boy. Boy forgets girl, boy remembers girl. And girl dies in a tragic blimp accident over the Orange Bowl on New Year's Day.
Good year.
No, the worst.